Roxy LeBaron again. Piper Searle back with it, going towards the goal. She shoots it off of the stick of Weckerly again, so a couple of nice saves from the Wittenberg goalkeeper. This is Piper again, right in the middle. She scores. Nice pass from Michaela Martin right into the slot for Piper, and she puts it past Weckerly and a couple of defenders of the Tigers. That's a 1-0 lead for Southern Virginia. So a very good-looking start for Southern Virginia so far. Able to pin Wittenberg in their own zone for first 3.5, 4 minutes. And only allowing one shot to get through on Madison Sorensen. Madison Soren, freshman again from Riverton, Utah, out of Riverton High School, expected to carry the load for Southern Virginia after losing both of their starting goalies last year, that being Morgan Bunch, a freshman last year, and then Jessica Webb, very experienced goalie on this night's program. There's a move from Kaya Basin trying to get through 3 or 4 Tigers. That'll be whistled down, and it'll be a free shot for Kaya. She's going to go straight in over top of the goalie and puts it in. 2-0 Southern Virginia. So you saw Kaya and Piper both on those free attempts, able to have that burst of speed from their first step and get through all the defenders of Wittenberg and go in solo on Weckerly for an early 2-0 lead. Wittenberg certainly wants to get a draw control here to get some momentum going in their direction offensively. Rain still coming down at a pretty decent clip right now. This is Addison England again on the draw for the Knights. And then that's number 2, Maddie Krasno. And England wins it again. Knights back on the attack. Another centering feed for Michaela Martin. She's going to lose it. Goes back to her teammate. That's number 10, Reagan Bullock. Michaela Martin's going to receive that again. There's Addison England. Nice feed inside for base and stopped there by Weckerly. Southern Virginia again gains control, but they'll get a fresh shot clock there after it went off the goalie. Michaela Martin weaving through defenders, and it's going to go wide of the post, out of bounds, but that's number 12, Hannah Bangerter of Southern Virginia, able to get to the line first. And she'll set up Piper Searle again. Face up with a defender one-on-one. Good defense, though, there by Wittenberg. That's Aubrey Stager. And she's going to go past midfield, going coast to coast right now, looking for a teammate. She's got one on the far side. That's Jessica Flick. Again, NCAC Player of the Week on February 27th. One of their leading producers offensively. There's a good defensive play there from Bailey Bruce. Battling with Anna Roller. Roller's second on the team with 11 goals through the 3 games so far. There's a missed pass, and Addison England's going to pick it up, so it was a good opportunity offensively for Wittenberg, but a tough break there. Good one for the Knights, though, as Roxy LeBaron's going to set up her teammate, Reagan Bullock, going down the middle. But she does lose it, and Wittenberg will turn it back the other way. There's a feed up ahead for Michaela Martin. 3-on-3, but she'll put on the brakes and allow her teammates to get set and get into the Knights offense. It's Piper Searle back behind the goal in her typical position. We saw a lot out of her from that spot last year. Does a good job of facilitating things down low. And now Addison England. Going to cut to the outside, or on the far side, and put it wide of the goal. That'll be a shot, and the Knights will retain possession. Martin again, lots of speed and shiftiness to her game. It's England back up high, nice feed inside, looking for Bullock, but a good defensive play there from the Wittenberg defenders. I think that was number 3, Zoe McKee. Now Weckerly feeds her teammate on the far side. That's based in pursuit. Ball up for grabs here. England tries to make a play on it. She knocks this ball out of the stick of Haley Pittman, but that'll be called down, and Wittenberg retains control. Pittman and Bruce were back-to-back for a second. Finally, Wittenberg will pick it up with Krasno. Krasno with it. She'll pull up and opt for Anna Roller. You certainly want to keep it in Roller's hands, along with their other excellent offensive weapons. Now at the top, looking for a lane. That's Jessica Flick. Back down low, below the goal line now, coming back up on top. Looking for a cutting teammate down the middle, but upended. It was a good play by, perhaps that was Bailey Bruce or maybe Mariela Perez before it gets called down as the Knights were looking to go back on the attack. Yellow card being issued. It's based in receiving instruction from the official. Another reminder that you're watching this on Knights Broadcasting. Make sure you leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing, how we can improve, and also a like and subscribe to Knights Broadcasting on YouTube. This is Kaya Based heading back down the middle. Nice cut back to the inside. Free up some space and get set for the offense. It's Piper Searle being pursued by 2 Tiger defenders. That'll be whistled down. Southern Virginia does retain control. Just about 6:45 remaining in the first. Southern Virginia leads at 2-0 off of 2 pretty quick goals in the early going. Trying to increase that lead to 3 on this possession. Michaela Martin going for it. It's still loose on the ground. Finally picked up by Bullock. She's being hampered again by Haley Pittman. And there will be whistled down again. Southern Virginia again retains control. There's a feed to the inside. Nice pick off there by Zoe McKee as she intercepted the England pass. Wittenberg trying to free up some space now. And this is Margaret Pickerel, a freshman on the run. Piper Searle now has to pull up, not go past that line. And that allows Wittenberg to free up some space and get their offense set. Nice feed inside, just past the right post. Bailey Bruce still unable to pick it up, so Wittenberg in control. Looking for the cutting teammate on the inside. It's still Anna Roller in control. She tosses that one back up top, looking for Jessica Flick. She couldn't handle it, almost turned over to Perez. Krasno again back up top for Flick, being pressured by Perez. And there was a foul called on Perez, a little bit too up high there, as she'll go serve some time now. So a power play now for Wittenberg, their best chance here to get within one. Got Roxy LeBaron back there, Ellie Patterson right up top marking Jessica Flick. 12 goals on the season so far in just 3 games. They'll go around the ring now, and for Anna Roller right on the goal line. She's being marked by Bailey Bruce. There's a nice cut towards the middle. It can't get there in time. So there's a steal from Southern Virginia, and they're going to send it ahead quickly. On the attack comes Southern Virginia with Hannah Bangerter, one of the key freshmen that they brought in from Salt Lake City, but she's going to give it right back up to Zoe McKee. You can hear head coach Becca Joseph shouting instructions, but timeout will be called as both teams head back to their bench areas. So after a pretty quick start for Southern Virginia offensively, things have slowed down just a little bit. Some sloppiness by both teams on the offensive end. As there we have a good look at head coach Olivia Cope shouting instructions. Southern Virginia lost 8 all-conference performers from last year's team. So again, missing a lot of key starters, some depth players, but do still return a very strong core to help them once again make some noise in the USA South. 3rd season in the USA South for Southern Virginia Athletics. Women's lacrosse, one of those programs that's had immediate success in the USA South. Had a very good first season, and last year, obviously, making it all the way to the USA South tournament before falling to Meredith. We saw a couple of very spirited battles between those 2 programs, including one here last spring in Buena Vista that went to overtime, I believe. Both teams just separated by 1 goal in that one. But again, we want to thank you for joining us here on Knights Broadcasting, and also want to give a shout out to our university athletic sponsors. Those being Mill Creek Orthodontics, River Crossing Apartments, Vinyl Cuts, Katana, Sushi and Hibachi Express, Grace Automotive, The Beeve, Papa John's, Straws, and Cornerstone Bank. And we appreciate those athletic sponsors and encourage all of you tuning in to go check them out and help out our local sponsors and local businesses. So back in play we go. This is Aubrey Stager. Very quick down the far sideline, being pursued by Roxy LeBaron. And she'll free up some space and send it in for Grace Himman. But that pass goes through everyone over to the near sideline. And that'll be a turnover. Southern Virginia will grab possession. This is Madison Sorensen. That pass is going to go through a couple of Knight attackers before being picked up by Hannah Bangerter. So we'll feed it back for Roxy LeBaron. 17 goals last year in the 2023 season. Doesn't have a goal to her name yet. So you can certainly tell she's chomping at the bit to get on the board for Southern Virginia. And we're going to be whistled down, as that's number 4, Kinsey Poulsen. 4 goals for the freshman this year. She'll get a free attempt behind the goal line. Not too much of a threat back there, but she's looking for an open teammate down the middle. Good defense there from Alyssa Burnside. There's a feed from Michaela Martin. She's spinning away from a defender. Now Piper Searle in control. On the board already for Southern Virginia today. Good defensive play broken up by Zoe McKee. They're able to clear the zone with Maddie Krasno. Southern Virginia looking to get back. This is Anna Roller, one of their most dangerous goal scorers. She'll circle back up top. Roller with it again. Trying to find her way through Bailey Bruce. None doing there. There's a feed to the middle. Roxy LeBaron tried to scoop that one up, but she'll leave it for her goalie Sorensen. And they'll slow things down. So a couple of good opportunities for Wittenberg here in the first. But Southern Virginia really able to clog up that middle and not allow for any attackers of Wittenberg to cut towards Sorensen. Says Kai Basin again. She'll pull up and allow them to get set. Just 10 seconds gone on the shot clock, so plenty of time to work with, but that pass is almost broken up by Zoe McKee before being whistled down. That was Piper Searle in control. As it looks like they're going to call number 21 Haley Pittman for a penalty, and so she'll go serve some time now. See the motion of the officials to reset the shot clock on that one. Piper Searle are waiting for the signal to get going again. You've got her and Hannah Bangerter down low for Southern Virginia, then Michaela Martin, Kaya Baisden, and also Kinsey Poulsen. Very promising freshman with 4 goals on the season in that offensive attack area for Southern Virginia. Nice feed inside for Martin. Good save by Weckerly as Michaela Martin found her loose all alone in front of the goalie. Weckerly's going to loft that, looking for her teammate, Alyssa Burnside. She'll get it, but she's checked. Looked like she might have received a accidental shot in the head from the stick of Kaya Baisden. So Baisden certainly will go to the sideline to the box for that one. Not sure if there was a card issued. Wasn't looking the way of the official at the time of the call made. But either way, Baisden goes off, and Wittenberg, another chance to attack here, still in their own territory. Pressure being applied by Michaela Martin, as well as Hannah Bangerter. Margaret Pickrell, again, another freshman able to escape harm as she's being pursued by Roxy LeBaron fiercely. Again, Roxy, a senior from Crossfield, Alberta, Canada. Back up top for Burnside, feeling the pressure from Addison England. Almost caused a turnover now on the goal line. This is Rollers. Nice spin move to the inside. She'll go towards the goal and score. Nice spin move by Anna Roller to get around Mariela Perez. Then put it past the goalie, Madison Sorensen. Wittenberg on the board, 2-1. And that's just something that hasn't been there yet for Wittenberg through most of this first quarter. Southern Virginia really able to clog up the middle and has done a good job moving their feet and staying in front of the attackers of Wittenberg. But that time, Anna Roll are able to make a nice spin move around to the inside and get back out in front. And Sorensen unable to make a save, and she'll allow the first one on the morning for Southern Virginia. So 2-1 the score now. Again, Wittenberg coming in at 3-0, a very solid start to their season. Knights .500 right now, 1-1, trying to capture their second on the season and stay undefeated at home. Can't quite figure out what we're waiting on. Now looks like we'll have the draw from England and Sophia Meek, I believe. England has dominated the draw so far. And she's going to look to win that one. Gets it to Kaya Baisden. Lots of speed coming down the middle. So slow down again and allow for her teammates to get set. She'll send it for Kinsey Poulsen, the freshman. That one's tough to handle from Piper Sorrell, but no one in the vicinity, so no problem for her to recapture that, and around the ring they go again. And that'll do it for the end of the first quarter, as the Knights really just playing keep away there to prevent Wittenberg from being able to tie it. But that'll do it for one quarter of play. Knights on top 2-1 so far against a Wittenberg team that's highly motivated and off to their best start in a number of years in non-conference play. They participate in one of the more difficult conferences, very competitive. They were preseason number 7 in the North Coast Athletic Conference. Some premier teams in the northeastern part of the country, as we'll see Olivia Cope again giving instructions for her ladies. But once again, we want to give a shout out to our university athletic sponsors. Those sponsors being Cornerstone Bank, Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express, Vinyl Cuts, River Crossing Apartments, Mill Creek Orthodontics, Grace Automotive, The Beeve, Papa John's, and Straws Drinks and Eats. Straws obviously has plenty of things going on Friday evenings, typically at 7. It's on Magnolia Avenue in Buena Vista. Also, Grace Automotive offers 10% discount for students and staff of Southern Virginia for all vehicle maintenance needs. But plenty of local businesses to go out and support in our community, and we thank them so much for their help in sponsoring Southern Virginia University athletics. Before the second quarter gets going again, we'll give you a rundown of some team stats, as you can also look at those on our live stats provided by our wonderful sports info and communications team on Night Athletics. Again, the score 2-1. Southern Virginia had 2 quick goals in the first few minutes of the first quarter. Offense kind of stalled, though. A couple of sloppy turnovers that turned into scoring opportunities for Wittenberg. They eventually did get on the board themselves late in the first quarter to make this a 1-goal contest. But Southern Virginia so far able to pepper Gabrielle Weckerly with 9 shots, and also able to capture 16 ground balls to Wittenberg's 8. But Weckerly has made 5 saves so far, so solid play from her. As Wittenberg has gone through a bit of a rotation here in terms of their goalies. Gabrielle Weckerly has played the most minutes, entering today 75 minutes. Certainly that's increased now to around 90. But also have used the goalkeeping services of Sydney Sheridan, a junior. Has played 60 minutes so far, and also a freshman, Williams, has played 45 minutes. This is Reagan Bulk trying to cut to the middle. Lots of reach and height over her defenders. Now Michaela Martin, nice feed inside, looking for, that was Hannah Bangerter. But it goes past her, stays inbound, so Knights will retain control. Raised again inside. There's Piper Searle, and she puts it in. 3-1, Southern Virginia. Nice looking feed from Baston inside to Piper Searle, unmarked. And it's a 3-1 lead for Southern Virginia. So a quick answer for Southern Virginia, just what they needed after their offense kind of stalled there in the second half of the first quarter. Addison England back to take the draw for the Knights. Faced a couple of different opponents now from Wittenberg in the draw circle. And again, that's going to be won by England, able to get lots of leverage and strength on that draw, almost captured by Wittenberg, but Kai Baston does take control now. Reagan Bullock sending it down low for Hannah Bangerter. Now Piper Searle bursts to speed into the middle, looking for some space. Well defended there from Alyssa Burnside. Now Roxy LeBaron in control, shifting around the defender. Nice save there from Weckerly. She's going to quickly get it out of harm's way, but Ellie Patterson, nice heads-up play to take it away from Flick. But there will be a call made. I think that was on Patterson, so Wittenberg will gain control. This is Flick. Making her way past three Southern Virginia defenders. That was Ellie Patterson as well, running to get back in position. Good steal from Addison England. And back the other way the Knights go. Neither team able to get clean possession. A couple of steals by both sides. And Addison England finally will just slow things down and try to get things set up for her team's offense. You can see Wittenberg with a couple of defenders staying on the goal line pretty close to Weckerly, their keeper. Not allowing any Knights to cut right down the middle. As you can see, Roxy LeBaron tried to make a run on that one. This is Michaela Martineau. Cuts to the inside, back out. She does lose it for a second, but Piper Searle, good heads-up play to pick it up. She's going back towards the goal, and that'll be a penalty called as there is contact made, as Piper will look to have a free shot. Might have caught a stick up high. Her teammate Reagan Bullock checking on her. But looks to be just okay, and she'll get a free shot right down the middle, a free position opportunity now for Piper Searle. She's already scored on one in the first quarter, as she stares down Weckerly now. Piper now about to get the go-ahead. Whistle go. She'll go right down the middle and score. Piper Searle again. Second goal in the last couple of minutes. So a strong start to both quarters has Southern Virginia now in a 4-1 lead. Knights came into today with 5 free position goals compared to their opponent's 6. So they're certainly making good use of those opportunities this morning. As you can see, That's Essence Weiss, a freshman from Lewis Center, Ohio, waiting for England to get back so we can have another draw. 12:32 remaining in the second quarter. Just 2.5 gone here. Southern Virginia leads 4-1. And again, England able to get some leverage under the ball there and win yet another draw. She puts it ahead to Reagan Bullock. Roller had to be careful not to cross the line on that one. Here's Kinsey Poulsen. There's a feed to the inside for Michaela Martin, and releases that one a little early as that sky is over top of that crossbar. That was a shot, though, so Knights retain possession. This is Bangerter again. Far side for Martin. She'll reset things back up top and back in the hands of Kaya Based. And 8 goals coming into the day. She's already added to that in the first quarter with a goal to her name. Nice move inside. Good save again by Weckerly, the junior goalie from Delaware, Ohio. She's made a couple of really nice stops right in the middle to keep her team within striking distance. This is Jessica Flick being pursued by Ellie Patterson, trying to keep her stick in the passing lane. But that's going to be whistled down. I'm not sure if they're going to get Ellie Patterson again there. And yes, she will go off. Is Wittenberg going to try and capitalize on another opportunity? Now Wittenberg on the attack. This is Roller. She has the Wittenberg goal so far. Only one of the Tigers to get on the board. Send it back towards the middle for Jessica Flick, being guarded by Roxy LeBaron. And I believe another call will be made on Southern Virginia. And Roxy LeBaron goes right back at Flick. He'll reset things back up top with her. There's a feed. Nice feed down low, looking for some space, and it goes just wide of the post. As that was McKaylee Huntsman also applying pressure. But a really nice feed down to the right side of the post. Tried to cut back towards the middle, but ran out of room on Huntsman. That was another foul called on Southern Virginia against Aubrey Stager. Grace Heyman looked like she's trying to make a run towards the middle. No pass towards her in her direction. And a roller again going down the middle, but that's disrupted by McKaylee Huntsman, as Roller was surrounded by 3 or 4 Knights. And now it's Perez trying to stretch the field. She will, up high, looking for Bullock. Nice play there from Kaya Basin to receive that with one hand. She's going to go coast to coast. Another good save by Weckerly. As the last few shots, the Knights have been trying to expose that upper area of the goal, but Weckerly right now is dialed in and able to cover that top half pretty well. Krasno back the other way, being guarded by Bailey Bruce. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. 66 seconds now for Wittenberg. And a tough handle there from Alyssa Burnside allows Addison England to pretty easily come back and steal that one. Knights on the attack. Michaela Martin not able to handle it. Then that's Kinsey Poulsen being tripped up. I think they're going to get a call on that one, She was being guarded by Haley Pittman and Kaylin Ireland, sophomore and senior defenders. Kayla Martin wasn't able to handle that pass, but she gets back in time to save it from going out of bounds. Knights still in the attack. This is Poulsen going down the middle. She loses it. And that's Lizzie Hill, number 1 for the Knights, back in there. Seeing her first game action on the morning. There's Kinsey Poulsen trying to cut through, but that's checked off of her stick. Michaela Martin going down. And that will be a call made on Zoe McKee, I believe, and Knights retain control. So first game action we're seeing on the day for Lizzie Hill, freshman out of Layton, Utah, and Northridge High School, one of our many dual sport athletes at Southern Virginia. She's a all-conference performer in cross country and track. Wittenberg now on the attack. This is Aubrey Stager. Now Heyman looking for some movement from her teammates. She's going to opt back up high for Flick. Still switch fields. Looking for a little bit of a screen there. Go towards the goal and just wide of the right post. That'll still out of bounds. And I'm not sure if maybe there was a call before the shot. But I think Wittenberg will just retain control on the shot. Oh no, a call will be made. Not sure which defender was in pursuit of Flick, but she's going to have a free position opportunity. She'll head towards the goal and put it off the arm, it looked like, of Sorensen. Good save by Sorensen. She'd had a couple of those point blank today. Wittenberg with Anna Roller still in the attack. She's stolen. I believe that's Ellie Patterson on the run now, being pursued by Roller. Nice cut by Patterson to look for Lizzie Hill. She can't grab possession, so Wittenberg does in return, and back the other way we go. Another errant pass for Michaela Martin now. She looks for a teammate, but it goes straight into the pocket of Aubrey Stager, and she's on the run. I think either Kaya Basden or Hannah Bangerter is going to be called on that one. It will be Basden. So she will go serve some time on the sidelines next to her bench. And Aubrey Stager of Wittenberg still in control. Green card served to Basden. Now Wittenberg on the attack. This is Jessica Flick going to that same side she tried last time. She's going to get fouled again, this time by Addison England. She'll go off to serve some time as well. Yellow card provided by the official. They're going to motion Flick to the outside arc on this one. Looked like she was trying to motion that she should be on the inside for this free position, but they'll send her a little further back as Bailey Bruce directing traffic for the defenders of the Knights. Still waiting for the go-ahead signal right now from the official. looks like they're good to go. Jessica Flick again. Leading scorer on Wittenberg coming in. She's now tied with Anna Roller for the team lead with 12 goals apiece. And this is Roller with it now, trying to cut back towards the middle. Huntsman guarding her. Converged on by 4 Knights, and Perez comes out with it. So another good play by the Knight defenders to force yet another turnover, but Bruce not able to handle that one. That'll go out of bounds, and Wittenberg will grab control. There's a nice cut towards the middle. And a good play by Huntsman to disrupt that one, as Aubrey Stager had a lot of open turf, but could not handle the pass and get it on goal. Again, Jessica Flick, nice move between the legs of Sorensen and puts it in. Great move by Flick as she opts to go to that far side and cut her way around traffic. And she found herself all alone in front of Sorensen to make it 4-2. So Wittenberg has had a tough start to this second quarter, but is still hanging around there as the score is just 4-2. That also came on the man advantage as Addison England was still on the sideline serving time. After she was given that yellow card just a minute ago. But she'll head back on the field and be prepared for this next draw with Anna Roller now. As Addison England, lots of success in this one on the draws. Wittenberg trying several different athletes to trying to find possession for themselves. Another good play, but it pops up and Roller almost grabs it. Now Kaya Baisden able to get to it. She's checked by a couple of defenders, and a penalty will be called. I think that was on either Aubrey Stager or Maddie Krasno, as they're going to call Baisden all the way back just in front of the Knight logo. .5:16 remains in the second quarter. As subs come on for Wittenberg, that's number 4. Sophia Meek coming back in, the sophomore midfielder. Down below the net they go for Bangerter. Looking for space, she'll look towards the goal line for Piper Searle, but opts back from Martin. That pass deflects, and Pittman able to pick it up. She's checked by a couple of Knights, including Addison England. Main one on the contact there as Pittman went down, and Addison England again will go off. So shots in this quarter a little bit more even. Knights into the first quarter with a 9-2 shot advantage, and at the moment it's 15-6. So Wittenberg a little more efficient on their offensive opportunities on the attack. But both teams also having a little bit of trouble clearing in certain instances. Turnovers are pretty even. Wittenberg with 7, Southern Virginia with 6. Or that's caused turnovers, rather. Wittenberg with 15 turnovers, while Southern Virginia has 13. It's Margaret Pickrell. They're going to call her back after play was blown dead. And I think they're going to get Ellie Patterson for that one. So England and Patterson both off right now. As Patterson was given the yellow on that one. This is Pickrell again, the speedy freshman, running down the sideline. She'll cut back towards the middle and allow Wittenberg to get set. So man advantage opportunity for Wittenberg to try and get within 1. It is 4-2 right now, 4:30 left in the half. Wittenberg looking for the cut down the middle. This is Flick. Nice spin move back to the other side. She'll go in and score. Nice move by Flick. That time going against the grain and finding her way inside through two Knight defenders, putting it past Sorensen. She's found a great deal of success in this quarter going down low through the legs of Sorensen, and now it is 4-3. So just when the Knights figured they had control, when Piper Searle scored a pair of goals to put them up 4-1, Wittenberg has found themselves right back in this one as they trail by just one. Timeout being called by the Knights, as head coach Olivia Cope will talk things over with them. Certainly not liking what they're seeing on the defensive side of things, at least. But pretty similar story to the first quarter. Knights able to get out quickly with 2 goals. But then in the second half of each quarter, their offensive has pretty much stalled completely. Quite a few turnovers. Not as many caused turnovers, and Wittenberg has taken advantage of their man-up opportunities. Gabrielle Weckerly has also had a very quality day in goal for the Tigers. 8 saves for her. Several of those, being right in the slot in front of the crease. Open opportunities for several Knight attackers, but she stymied them on most of them, which is why the differential is just 1 here with 4:19 remaining in the first half. Looks like Anna Roller is going to go back for the draw for Southern Virginia. She'll be met by Piper Searle. I believe this is the first draw that someone other than Addison England will take for Southern Virginia. Up high in the air it goes. Roller going after it. So is Searle. She's upended right on top of the logo. Tripped up by a stick. That might have been Alyssa Burnside. So no card given, but the Knights will grab possession. This is Kai Bazin. Again, lots of speed. Able to go coast to coast to avoid those Wittenberg mids. And play's going to be whistled down again. .357 remaining in the second quarter. Knights lead at 4-3. Kinsey Poulsen, local from Rockbridge High School out of Lexington, Virginia, just down the road from Buena Vista. She's calling for it in the middle. Roxy LeBaron going to do it herself. She'll cut back outside. And penalty will be called. I believe that might be on Zoe McKee. Or it might have been off ball, rather. Players are receiving instruction from the official. So it will be Roxy LeBaron who will have control and have her first opportunity at a free position. Lots of speed and shiftiness, should be able to get in the clear. She goes down the middle and puts it over top of the crossbar. Again, looking for that top half of the goal on Weckerly, which really just has not worked so far today for the Knights. Wittenberg trying to escape harm. It does go out of bounds. She steps on the line. And Southern Virginia grabs back control. This is Kaya, or not Kaya Basin. This is Kinsey Poulsen. Knights trying to rebound after that free position opportunity that was missed by Roxy. It was Poulsen calling for it as she cut back down the middle. But now Michaela Martin up top. She'll backpedal and survey now for Roxy LeBaron. She's checked by Krasno. Back down the middle. Good save, or it went past the stick of Weckerly, just wide of the right post. But of course, Hannah Bangerter was there, and Knights still have possession. Knights able to clear out the middle, looking for Piper Searle to do it herself, but Weckerly grabs that after a good defensive play from Marin Raymond, sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky, and Ballard High School. Jessica Flick comes calling again, trying to stretch the field, looking for her teammate, Maddie Krasno, but she loses, and Kai Basin back in control for the Knights. Knights really just content today to slow things down once they get into the attacking zone and set up their offense. Not too many fast break opportunities that they've pursued. This is Roxy LeBaron trying to cut through the middle of Burnside and Pickrell. Kenzie Poulsen trying to circle around the net. She loses it. Good defensive play. That's number 9, Ebony Weiss. But she's going to lose it again. So unable to clear, turns into another good opportunity for Southern Virginia. Let's see if they can counter. Just 1:05 remaining in the first half. You'd think that the Knights might be content to let this clock roll down and have the final opportunity of the half. Score still stands at 4-3. Knights haven't been able to convert since about the 2 or 3 minute mark of the second quarter, I believe. Kai Basin trying to spin around a couple of defenders. She can't do it, so she opts in back of the goal for Piper Searle. 3 goals on the day. It's a good rejection there from Marin Raymond again. Now Kinsey Poulsen takes her stab at it. Nice pass inside for Basin, puts it in between the legs of Weckerly. Really nice feed from Poulsen, able to draw 2 defenders to her. And Kai Basin with her second on the morning. So quite the textbook possession on the attack for Southern Virginia, able to waste quite a bit of clock and then score with 19 seconds remaining in the first half. Back for another draw control. This will be Reagan Bullock going against Anna Roller. Roller doesn't have a draw control to her name yet, but almost had one until they were flagged for knocking down Piper Searle on that last draw. Wittenberg will look to cut within 1 again with just 20 seconds remaining. Up high it goes. And Roxy LeBaron able to grab control. Just 12 left. Kai Basin, lots of speed. She might just try to cut back towards the middle. 5 seconds left now. Roxy LeBaron motioning her to time's running down. There's a goal from Piper Searle with 1 second left on the clock. Great feed from Kai Basin, and it is 6-3 just like that, heading into the halftime break. And they might just call it the half for that, and they will. The goal was allowed. It was in time before the buzzer sounded. So Kaya Baisden looked like she might have been unaware of the short clock when she first got to it, but a good heads-up play by Roxy LeBaron to let her know where they're at, and a good pass to Piper Searle. And Knights head into the halftime break, leading 6-3. We will be back with you shortly after this brief intermission. So be sure to be back and join us on Knights Broadcasting for the second half of play. Welcome back, everyone, for the second half of action in today's women's lacrosse matchup between the visiting Wittenberg University Tigers and, of course, your Southern Virginia University Knights. First half, exciting in several moments and pretty slow for both teams in much of each of those first two quarters. Knights do lead at 6-3 after a very stellar last minute when they caused a turnover, then scored with 19 seconds left on the clock. But then after winning another draw, which they've dominated in today, Kaya Basin able to bring it down into the attacking zone and fed, I believe it was Piper Searle, cutting down the middle, and she puts it in with 1 second to go to give the Knights a 6-3 lead after they had certainly lost a little bit of momentum there towards the end of the second quarter when Wittenberg scored 2 goals on the man advantage. They have 2 with the extra man. Southern Virginia has 1. And Knights again dominating so far in the shot category, 19 shots to Wittenberg 7. But Wittenberg has been efficient when given the opportunity with the man advantage. As said, 2 goals with the extra man and 3 goals on just 7 shots. So, of course, Piper Searle, a standout performer from that first half with 4 goals. Also, Gabrielle Weckerly played very, very solid in goal for Wittenberg, as the score could be a bit worse for Wittenberg if it wasn't for her stellar play. Here's Roxy LeBaron going the other way, looking for some space between her and Aubrey Stager. Kinsey Poulsen then trying to scoop it back up, as well as Bangerter, and she'll succeed as she's in back behind the Wittenberg goal. Face up with Gabrielle Weckerly. She cuts back towards the middle, looking towards the goal, and a good foot save there by Weckerly. Still up for grabs right now, as Michaela Martin's going to get to it, but then a good play there from Zoe McKee until it's called dead, as both players will wait on the call. Not sure if there maybe was contact made with the Southern Virginia athletes. She looks to be okay for the most part in walking back under her own power. I think that was Kaya Baisden. And she will be subbed out. Can't quite get the number on who came in for Southern Virginia, but she will go in for Kaya, as hopefully Kaya will end up okay, as she'll get checked out by one of her very fine athletic trainers. Now is Margaret Pickrell losing it to Kinsey Poulsen. She's being shadowed by Kaylin Ireland before Poulsen sends it back up top looking for Roxy LeBaron. She'll send it in deep for Bullock, knocked out of her stick as she had a lane towards Weckerly. Bullock still with it. Going to go back towards the middle for Roxy LeBaron. Good save again by Weckerly, able to grab that one up high. No quarter given, and Knight still in possession, able to grab that one from Margaret Pickrell. So Knights, of course, coming out with lots of energy and been really dominant. Another shot by Roxy LeBaron. She can't believe it on that one, as she stopped for a 3rd or 4th time in this game, point blank. But there was a call made before the shot, I believe. And so Roxy was lining up for to keep possession, but they will give it back to Wittenberg, and Gabrielle Weckerly with a couple of key saves early in the second half to keep her team within striking distance. Wittenberg hasn't had too much of a problem scoring-wise so far this season. Really been able to rack up the goals in their first 3 games, which is what has led them to this perfect 3-0 mark. But it is in jeopardy against a very stingy defensive Knights team. They lead at 63 right now over the Tigers. And Perez is going to lose that one. Almost turned it over to a Tiger attacker, but that's going to be called as the stick made contact. The stick of Maddie Krasno made contact with the helmet of Perez. And they'll reset things with Madison Sorensen in goal. Roxy still looking for her first on the season. Coast to coast right now. Cut back towards the middle, right down the lane. She'll opt back off for Piper Searle. Still switch with Michaela Martin. Looking for some room, well defended from Pittman. And even better defensive play there from Zoe McKee, but Piper Searle able to stay with it before play is blown dead. Just 34 seconds remain on the shot clock. Piper sends it back for Michaela Martin, who gives it along to Kinsey Poulsen as the Knights get set offensively. This is Reagan Bullock. Cutting back towards the middle. Below the goal line now for Anna Bangerter. She'll lose it, though, out of bounds. And I believe Wittenberg will grab possession as it was bouncing around the stick of Bangerter, but she couldn't handle it. And it's a turnover from the Knights. Aubrey Stager is just going to try and run past midfield into the attacking zone, and she'll be forced out of bounds by Roxy LeBaron. But that'll be a green card given on Roxy. So she'll have to step off for a little bit. Stager again will run it into the attacking zone where Wittenberg can set up their offense. Still lots of rain coming down into the early afternoon here in Buena Vista. As Jessica Flick has a goal to her name, a really beautiful one in the second quarter. She'll go towards the goal. It's blocked there from Perez. As Roller now with it. And that'll be whistled dead. We'll wait for the call. As there was quite a bit of contact made there on Jessica Flick in the middle, just in front of Sorensen's crease. This one up for grabs and grabbed nicely by Lizzie Hill. She'll use her speed to feed Piper Searle at center field. Now Knights on the attack. Just under 5 minutes gone in this third quarter of play. Lizzie Hill's going to get it back from Piper. And Kinsey Poulsen was looking towards the middle. So was Bangerter, but they couldn't get it to her in time. And they'll opt to reset back out with Roxy LeBaron. Good play to keep it away from Ireland. She'll cut back towards the outside and get upended. And that will be a foul called on Wittenberg as Roxy went down. She'll look to get a free position opportunity as Ireland will make her way back outside that arc. This time she's going to feed Piper Searle on a very unselfish play from Roxy LeBaron. She found the cutting Piper, and Piper puts it in for her 5th on the day. So Roxy's had a plethora of opportunities to score, but that time she opts to feed her teammate Piper, who does have the hot hand today, and she puts it up and over the shoulder of Gabrielle Weckerly. Not too much of a chance for her as Piper was in alone. Just her and the goalie. But Southern Virginia able to extend that lead to 7-3 thanks to 3 consecutive goals extending from the end of that second quarter. As we'll have Reagan Bullock go back to the middle for this draw. She's going up against Maddie Krasno. And Wittenberg looked like they're going to win that one. They will retain possession there, so Don't have the stats on that in our live stats, but I believe that is the first draw control for Wittenberg on the day. As Roller striding along in behind our goal. Now back up top for Krasno, and then now it is Marin Raymond. She receives a check from LeBaron. Now Jessica Flick. Back towards the middle, well defended by Ellie Patterson. Still trying to make her way inside before play is blown dead. Flick did lose control before it was grabbed by her teammate. I believe that was Grace Heeman. Excuse me. And Flick will have a free position opportunity. Going to release that a little early as the stick was knocked out of her hand. Roxy LeBaron on the defensive play. As now it's Heeman behind the goal who will keep control for Wittenberg. And out in front, a pass was almost made to the cutting Sophia Meek. Roxy LeBaron able to close that off quickly. Another pass inside for Roller. Good save made by Sorensen. So her first save of the half is a very big one, as there was a very quality offensive possession from Wittenberg, as this one is bouncing all the way into the Knights' attacking zone. Kinsey Poulsen on the attack. There's a 2-on-1 with her and Piper Searle. Piper goes over the crossbar, looking for her 6th on the day. Out of bounds. The Knights will retain possession. Still plenty of shot clock left. Nice unselfish pass again, that time from Kinsey Poulsen, looking for Piper that time. Kinsey is stick checked, and Weckerly will dig it out and feed her teammate Krasno. Little sidestep around Roxy LeBaron. She's encountering 2 Knights. Michaela Martin now in pursuit of her. Looks like there was a stick up high, as that was Krasno again, still trying to cradle as she came over the top of Martin. So inadvertent contact there. Looks like Martin's okay, fortunately. Wittenberg retains possession. This is Weiss now. Weiss now feeding off for her teammate Heeman. Now it's Flick again. Had the free position opportunity last time out. Goes towards the goal. Good save again by Sorensen. That's 2 in a row on Flick to keep the Knight lead at 4. She's going to loft that one. Looking for, I think that was Kai Baisden, who's back in. Good to see her again. Now Kinsey Poulsen, full throttle ahead. Looking for Martin. Nice pass in front over top of the crossbar again. She's going to get there first for the Knights to retain possession. Really nice playmaking ability in the last couple of minutes from Kinsey Poulsen, a freshman from Lexington, just down the road from Buena Vista. This is Piper Searle now. She'll survey. Cut back towards the middle, then to the outside. Good defense, though, by Zoe McKee. Prevents a shot. This is Roxy LeBaron looking for her first on the year. She's going to lose it. Weckerly trying to gain control. LeBaron applies pressure, but Wittenberg will look to get out of harm's way now. Pittman opts to go backwards. Good defense by LeBaron to force them into some tough passes. That time, though, Reagan Bullock is called, and she'll go off for just a little bit. As this is Krasno now in control. Krasno in control for Wittenberg. Now pick roll down the line, being pressured from Roxy LeBaron again, but another penalty called, and Roxy disagrees with that one. She's going to be assessed a yellow card and will have to go off now. So another van advantage opportunity for Wittenberg. They scored on 2 already in the first half. those two were able to get them within one. But since then, it's been all Southern Virginia, so this is certainly something that can get the Tigers going back in the right direction. Feed looking inside. It's bouncing on the turf, and Sorensen able to grab it. Smartly coming out of her goal to disrupt that pass, and that was looking for Marin Raymond. Could not get there in time, and now Kai Based lots of speed down the near sideline. Gets a cross check from Krasno. But Basden will slow things up and allow the offense to get set. Kenzie pulls another nice move, going back towards the inside, freeing up some space, bounces it off the turf, and over top of the crossbar again. Another good move from Kenzie. 4 goals entering today. Good start to her freshman campaign. Now Bullock looking in the middle for Poulsen again. There she scores. Great pass by Reagan Bullock, able to use her long reach and go over top of the defenders for an 8-3 Knight lead off of Kenzie Poulsen's strike. Poulsen now up to 1 goal and 1 assist on the day. That was a little mark down, an assist for Reagan Bullock, her first on the day as well. That's also Bullock's first assist on the season, already came in today with a goal to her name. And Kenzie Poulsen will put that number up to 5 goals on the season in just her 3rd game. The Knights' 3rd game in this young season. Bullock's going to be rejected there by Anna Roller. Still battling for possession. That's Wise in there as well for the Tigers. Finally, Sophia Meek able to grab control and able to sidestep a couple of Knight defenders. And now Meek will switch spots with Wise. And now it's Jessica Flick once again looking for a cutting teammate. That was Hall cutting down the middle. Flick still with it though, cutting away from Basden. Good pass for Roller on the inside, bottom of your screen. She cuts back towards the middle. Pretty good movement here by Wittenberg. Trying to cross up the defenders of Southern Virginia. Now a pass back towards the middle. This is Roller. She scores. Good looking pass. I believe that was Sophia Meek on the assist. But Anna Roller was able to get loose on the near side and put one past Sorensen, who had a really good start to this quarter. But first goal allowed for Sorensen in this half. Knight advantage now down to just 4. 8-4. Anna Roller and Jessica Flick, the 2 leading goal scorers on the season, coming in to the day for the Tigers, both on the board with 2 apiece. And as previously mentioned, that's Sophia Meek, sophomore from Lewis Center, Ohio, able to get on the board with an assist of her own. As Krasno almost able to grab control of it on the draw, but Reagan Bullock will grab it instead. Send it ahead for Piper Searle and reset with Roxy Liberian and Kaya Baisden. Slowly surveying the field and cut back towards the middle. She'll reset outside that arc. Piper Searle came cutting through. And around the ring they go. This is Kenzie Poulsen. Scored the last goal for the Knights. Good intercept there from Zoe McKee. She's being pressured now by Piper Searle and Kenzie Poulsen. She was cleanly able to grab that pass, but that's whistled down. And Wittenberg will keep possession, trying to extend the field and get back into that attacking zone. Have struggled with clearing balls in the second half, just 15 to 26 at this point. After a pretty good first half in that regard, Roxy Liberian having to go off. It looked like she got struck by a stick, perhaps. Let's hope she's okay as well, as Ellie Patterson grabs it, but it'll roll out of bounds, and Wittenberg looks to retain control. They should, as that clearly went off Patterson last. As we did have a substitution in for Roxy Liberian. That might have been Brynlee Julian coming back in place of Roxy. This is Anna Roller trying to move back towards the middle. Good defense from Perez. Forces Roller back outside that arc. But now Jessica Flick back in control. Using her speed to go to the middle, and it bounces right past the post and out of bounds. So the Tigers retain control, but a good burst by Jessica Flick had the Tigers inches from making it a 3-goal deficit. Flick again directing traffic, being guarded by Huntsman back towards the middle. She scores again. And it looks like there was a whistle being blown as that shot was taking place, so it does count. There's a bit of a delay by both squads looking back towards the official. But Flick again able to use that burst. That was the second time in about 20 seconds able to get by Huntsman towards the middle and strikes that one into the bottom right of the goal past Sorensen. And just like that, it's just a 3-goal game. So Wittenberg certainly hanging around as they've had a couple of pretty efficient offensive attacks in the past few minutes. Roxy Liberian also had to go off. She's being checked out by the trainer. She looks to be okay on the sideline, but had to be subbed out, and Brynlee Julian came in place of her. So with that quick substitution, could have maybe thrown things off for Southern Virginia, as they didn't look as organized and set as they typically do, but that speed of Jessica Flick really threw them for a loop. And Reagan Bullock, another draw control. She's going straight down the middle now. She'll pull up and opt to the far side for Kenzie Poulsen. Most recent goal scorer for Southern Virginia, looking for Bullock down the middle. That'll go past her stick, but Michaela Martin recovers. There's a feed for Piper Searle, trying to take things to the rack herself, but a good save by Weckerly. Went right into her body, and now it's Bullock. Switch places with Searle, being guarded very closely by Zoe McKee. Banker trying to get around the corner. Now Elliot Patterson in control, taking that spot that Roxy Liberian's typically at. There's a feed to the middle for Piper Searle, and she puts it in for another goal. That's 6 on the day for Piper. Another beauty of a pass from Kenzie Poulsen on the cutting Piper, and that puts the Knights' lead back to 4. 9-5 it is, with 40 seconds to go in the quarter. So Knights doing a good job today of being able to counter the pressure being applied by Wittenberg. That's 2 occasions where the Tigers have scored 2 consecutive goals in short order, but the Knights have been able to counter. And let's see if they can do it again. Looking for yet another draw control. This time it's Krasno and Bullock. Based and with that quickness, again able to recover it and take that draw from the Tigers. Looks like she's got more space than she expected now. Basin takes it towards the goal, and that's going to go into the pocket of Weckerly. A really nice, calm save on the cutting Baisden. Perez is going to be whistled down on that one. Possession back towards Wittenberg. This is Alyssa Burnside sending it all the way down. But a bit of an ill-advised pass. But then Anna Roller steals it back from Bailey Bruce. Roller has 2 on the day, but that'll do it for the third quarter. Knights leading it 9-5, controlled much of the offensive opportunities in that quarter. But a good couple of strong minutes offensively for Wittenberg is able to cut into that lead, but the Knights still do take a 4-goal lead into the fourth quarter of play. 15 minutes remain in regulation. And with this short break, the Knights Athletic Department wants to, again, thank the following sponsors and encourage all those tuning in and around town to support these local businesses, those being Katana Hibachi and Sushi and Hibachi Express, Vinyl Cuts, River Crossing Apartments, Mill Creek Orthodontics, Grace Automotive, The Beeve, Papa John's, Straws Drinks and Eats, and Cornerstone Bank. And also the Beeve, of course, as previously mentioned, hosts many activities typically on Friday nights at 7. So head on there at the end of the week to have some nice treats and drinks and have some fun, as well as Grace Automotive offers 10% off of all your vehicle and maintenance needs for those who are students at Southern Virginia as well as staff. So another strong ending by Southern Virginia in that quarter after facing some adversity. Two consecutive goals by Wittenberg. But again, the Knights really dominating in the shot category of this one. 30 shots to Wittenberg's 12. Also have 37 ground balls to Wittenberg's 19. But a really stellar job in goal from Gabrielle Weckerly, the junior goalie from Delaware, Ohio. 13 saves to her name, and many of them have been wide open opportunities out in front for some of Southern Virginia's best attackers. Of course, there's 2 goals on the extra man for Wittenberg in the first half, compared to just 1 for Southern Virginia so far. But turnovers pretty even, 18 apiece. 10 caused turnovers by Wittenberg, compared to Southern Virginia's 6. So a very competitive non-conference matchup. First time these 2 programs are meeting in their history for women's lacrosse. Wittenberg trying to remain a perfect 4-0 on the season. Southern Virginia trying to improve to 2-1 under the leadership of recently appointed head coach Olivia Cope this past fall. And Bullock able to send that one all the way into the attacking zone nicely for Poulsen. She's going to opt towards the middle, but then gets upended. And they're going to say that was a clean defensive play for Kaylin Ireland. So good job by her to recapture possession for the Tigers. This is Wise coming down the middle, or on the far side. She's pursued by Huntsman. That forces Wise into the back of the goal, and now they'll go around the ring now, looking up top for Alyssa Burnside. And now Jessica Flick, she's been dangerous in the second half. A lot of good opportunities. This is Anna Roller, 2 goals as well before a penalty is called. I believe it's going to be on Bailey Bruce. Or no, that will be offensive, so the Knights will take control with Kai Baisden. Just over a minute gone in this final frame. Kenzie Poulsen going to look back underneath the goal line for Bangerter. Ellie Patterson was calling it in the middle of the zone, but it's back out for Michaela Martin, able to create some space between her and a defender. This is Basin trying to work her way around a couple defenders, able to cut through. And that will go against Southern Virginia, as there are a lot of bodies in the vicinity. Maybe an illegal pick was made there on one of the Knight attackers. But Wittenberg in control, trying to get within 3. They managed to do so at the end of the third quarter before Piper Searle struck again, her 6th on the day, to extend that lead back to 9-5. But Jessica Flick, nice move towards the middle, upended, but she puts it in to get Wittenberg within 3. What a move to cut back towards the goal line and then get it past Sorensen. She was upended by Huntsman, I believe, some inadvertent contact. As both teams checking to make sure that she's okay, and she does look like she's fine. Maybe perhaps made some sensitive contact with and banged knees maybe with Huntsman. So she is coming off under her own power, but being helped by one of Wittenberg's staff now. So hopefully she'll be okay and able to come back in very soon. Grace Heeman's going to come into her place. Wittenberg does have a couple more depth pieces than Southern Virginia, which is not typical of a Southern Virginia program, but of course lots of turnover on their roster, and of course the changing in head coaches after the departure of Coach Rainey Whitworth. Livia Cope doing a very stellar job so far in the early going of this season. But it is now 9-6 after Jessica Flick scored yet again on the rush, doing it all herself there. As that one's going to fly out of bounds, and Southern Virginia will grab control of it. 4 goals for Flick, 2 for Roller. So Wittenberg's going to hope that she's able to come back in soon, as she's been the main point producer on this team so far this year. Bailey Bruce able to get by McKee. And Knights will calmly bring it into the attacking zone and get set. This is Kai Baisden now. Switch spots with Piper Searle, and a nice move to duck under the check and put it on goal, but it doesn't get to Weckerly. It's blocked by a defender. And Wittenberg able to grab control and looking to bring it out of harm's way. This is McKee right along the sideline before Martin's called. It's blown dead, and I believe Wittenberg is to retain control. She will. It's McKee getting called back a little ways by the official. Just 11:15 remaining in this one. Wittenberg back on the attack, trying to get within 2. Much of this game has been controlled by Southern Virginia, but when the opportunity has knocked, Witten has been able to answer the door so far. As there's a call made, and Anna Roller will have a very excellent opportunity to cut this lead down to 2 with a free position opportunity. Straight towards the goal, and to the right of the post. It might have deflected off Sorensen back in front. Still an opportunity for Wittenberg. Staker cradles and sends it towards the middle for Y. She's got an open chance, and she scores. Free opportunity had the defense of Southern Virginia a bit out of sorts and running around chasing the ball carrier. And it found Wise all alone out in front. I believe that was 19 Essence Wise, freshman from Lewis Center, Ohio, able to put that in past Sorensen top shelf. So as well as both defenses have played in this one, Southern Virginia came in with a rather comfortable 9-5 lead into the fourth quarter, as just based on how play was going through the first three quarters. But quickly, Wittenberg has put 2 goals in past Sorensen. They trail by just 2. So head coach Becca Joseph in her 3rd season at the helm of Wittenberg's women's lacrosse program, as her team headed in the right direction here, trying to mount an impressive comeback and stay undefeated on the season. That one's going to go past Marin Raymond and out of bounds, I believe. It will roll out of bounds. Lizzie Hill just letting it go, and Perez will pick it up and grab possession for Southern Virginia. Bailey Bruce almost upended by a Tiger attacker. She able to slide her way through 3 of them. That's Anna Roller in pursuit of Mariela Perez now. She's going to find Piper Searle. So Wittenberg ramping up the pressure on those clearance attempts from Southern Virginia. But things slow down here as Reagan Bullock in control now for the Knights. It's going to be whistled down in a timeout, I believe. Wait to see who called that timeout. But it'll be the second timeout used this game by either team. Both teams having previously called one. But the Knights really need to get things sorted out and find a way to get on the board in this fourth quarter. They've done a good job getting out of the gates quickly in each of the previous 3 quarters, but have been sniping here by good goaltending by Gabrielle Weckerly and an efficient offense so far, led by Jessica Flick, who did go out after her goal to make it 9-6, but Wittenberg being able to do a fine job with her on the sidelines to get that 7th goal and cut it within 2. And again, we want to give another reminder that you're watching this on Knights Broadcasting on YouTube. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know how we're doing, how we can help improve your viewing experience. And another thanks to our stellar production crew here in the broadcast room for presenting this on YouTube. .9:44 remains here in the fourth quarter. Just over 5 minutes gone in the final frame. Statistical leaders, of course, Jessica Flick with 4 goals for Wittenberg on the day, and a Roller with 2, and then Essence Wise able to get on the board. Meanwhile, Southern Virginia being carried nicely by Piper Searle with 6 goals, but a number of attackers and defenders playing important roles in this 9-7 lead right now. Kai Basin, of course, has had a very impactful game, as well as Kinsey Poulsen, Roxy LeBaron as well. But they've been missing her so far, as she had to exit with not quite sure what happened. She might have been hit by a stick up high, perhaps, but I don't believe she's returned since then. She looks to be okay on the sideline, but might be keeping her out for precautionary reasons. Knights on the attack, trying to counter and get back their 3-goal lead. Tough handle there from Ellie Patterson. She'll send it over for Lizzie Hill now. Hill for Martin, and now for Kinsey Poulsen. Slowly but surely making her way back towards the middle, but then up below the goal line for now Piper Searle. And it looked like she might have stepped out of bounds. She did look awfully close, and the official did catch it, so another unforced turnover there. That could be costly down the stretch, as Wittenberg is coming within striking distance here, just down 2 goals and looking to get in the attacking zone again. But a good steal there from, I think that was Hannah Bangerter, coming all the way back from her spot below the goal line, as she's being checked now by Ireland. And as the time gets shorter and shorter here in this 4th quarter, you'll see Wittenberg ramp up that defensive pressure and try to force more turnovers from the Knights. This is Piper Searle trying to cut around Pittman. She'll loft it up there for Ellie Patterson. She'll make her way back towards the middle and reset for Kinsey Poulsen. Looking for the cutting Martin, and she's going to put it into the pocket of Weckerly. Another solid stave, that time down low. As I previously mentioned, a lot of the Knight attackers are going for that upper half of the goal and not seeing much success. That time they went down low, but still a good save by Weckerly. This is Bangerter, ops behind the goal for now Piper Searle. Looking for 7 on the day. Spinning back towards the far side, and it's going to go out of bounds. And I believe that was a shot, so the Knights should retain possession. As the clock continues to run, just 7.5 minutes remaining in this one. 9-7 still the score for Southern Virginia. This is Bangerter, the freshman. He's going to duck underneath a stick check and then find Reagan Bullock. The flag's going to fly, I think, on Stager, as the Knights are going to have a free opportunity. I think it is in the stick of Piper Searle, looking for 7. So big moment here as she stares down Gabrielle Weckerly, who's been solid this quarter. Goes straight in, bounces off the turf, and it's going to go wide of the post again. Knights again retain possession. Now it's Ellie Patterson. She's going to lose it, though, and Zoe McKee will steal it and try to stretch the field and make another clearance. But a good intercept by Perez. Back for Poulsen it goes. She's going to cut back towards the middle and bounce it off the knee of Weckerly. And a call is made as she released the shot. There were 3 Tigers surrounding Poulsen as she cut back towards the middle, and she will be fouled and will have another free shot opportunity. Poulsen positioned there to the right of Weckerly, the goalkeeper. So go right down the middle, and another good save by Weckerly. As once again, Poulsen tried to go down low, so it's certainly something that they may have pointed out during a timeout or in between quarters, but not even those chances down low is Weckerly allowing. Quality goaltending from Wittenberg today. There's another intercept from Wittenberg. That one bounces off the turf. Looking for Roller. She's going to grab it and go past Piper Searle. Weckerly up to 16 saves on the day. Here comes Roller, and she's going to release it too early. It's going to fly off her stick and go way too high. Is a shot, though, and so Wittenberg retains possession. You could tell her frustration after that one. Lots of space in the middle of the field. to let it go. This is Heeman. Jessica Flick, important player back in there for the Tigers. She's going to go back towards the far side, and it goes off the side of the goal. Flick has tried that a couple of times, and it's often worked, but that time good enough defense from Perez to force her a little more towards the goal line and force her into a bad angle shot. Just 5:16 remain in the fourth quarter. There's a tough high pass there from Huntsman. Bailey Bruce not able to handle it. She makes contact with Wise, and now Roller back on the attack. She faces a few too many Knights and will opt to go back outside for Jessica Flick. And Wittenberg looks to get things set for their offense. Flick scores again. She's able to slide over to that right side so easily and freed up just enough space. It wasn't too bad a defense on that one. But a nice low shot that gets past Sorensen. And just like that, Wittenberg is within one with just 4:30 remaining on the clock in regulation. That is 5 on the day for Flick. Pretty close to tying the game overall leader, Piper Searle, who has 6, as the Knights huddle together and have a good long discussion on what they can do to counter that big shot from Jessica Flick. 17 goals now on the season for Jessica. As now Piper Searle and Alyssa Burnside will go head-to-head on this draw. That one looks to be almost won by Burnside, but Piper going after it. She does grab it. Important possession grabbed from Southern Virginia. As again, just less than 4.5 minutes remaining. They lead by 1. 3 goals in this quarter from Wittenberg. None from Southern Virginia has made this a nail-biter. As now Bangert back in behind the Tiger goal. Towards the middle, it's Michaela Martin just to the right of the post again. That same side they're working, but can't find any openings in Weckerly right now. Kenzie Poulsen with some urgency, looking for some teammates on the inside. Being guarded well by the Tiger defender. That's McKee, I believe. Or correction, that's Ireland. Kenzie Poulsen again, nice pass inside, looking for Patterson, but it rolls off her stick. And Weckerly and the Tiger defenders able to stave it off yet again and trying to go back on the attack. Oh, and a tough turnover there, but it will be whistled down. The Knights are going to retake control. That one's going to go over the head of, I believe that was Kenzie Poulsen, and again, grabbed by the Tigers, so a little sloppy there trying to clear from Southern Virginia. Under 3 minutes remaining. They certainly want to be using more of that shot clock and wind this clock down and try and preserve this 1-goal lead. This is Anna Roller. Her and Flick both in there. Flick exited briefly for a bit of an injury after her 5th goal, or 4th goal rather. Now Burnside with it. Looking for Roller again. She's going to roll back towards the middle. Good block there from Bailey Bruce. A huge defensive play. And she's going to stride it out towards midfield. And a tough pass there from Poulsen, looking for Bangerter. And that'll be turned over. I think Wittenberg should retain control, or retake control. They do. As Weckerly goes back there to grab another ball from the sideline, and a timeout is taken just under 2 minutes to go. So a glorious opportunity for Southern Virginia to shed some clock after the good defensive play by Bailey Bruce on Anna Roller turns into another turnover. Another one of those unforced turnovers as Poulsen tried to feed Bangerter down low. But are still in the lead 9-8. As Wittenberg's looking at their last couple of opportunities to tie this thing up back at 9. Knights again still dominating in that shot category, 37-8, but that hasn't mattered too much because of the stellar play from goalie Gabrielle Weckerle of Wittenberg. Has done an excellent job to stymie several attackers right in front of the crease of Southern Virginia. Very easily could have 15, 16, or 17 goals on the day if it wasn't for the stellar play of Weckerle. Sorensen on the other end for Southern Virginia also holding her own. 5 saves to her name against some pretty nice attackers in Roller and Flick. And overtime would be sudden death, I believe, if we get to that point, as this is Pickerel going to try and stride it out back towards the attacking zone. She's done a really good job of that so far. Has been a big part of the clearances that have been successful, as she's going to be shoved out of bounds by Ellie Patterson, as Ellie's going to go off on that call from the official. Pickerel being guarded face up by Bangerter. Just 1:40 remaining as Bangerter has to scamper on back outside the zone. I believe there was a call being made on that. You can see a couple of Knights trying to argue that call from the officials. We don't have him on the screen conversing right now, but it could be something to do with crossing that line. And I think Huntsman's going to have to go off. So an extra man opportunity for Wittenberg. They've scored twice, both of those being in the first half, so they've had a lot of success. As Flick really able to use that quickness to get by. She's going to find a lane right down the middle and bounce it into the top half of the goal, and it's tied 9-9. And you could just tell there was too much space allowed for Jessica Flick. Knights weren't able to adjust too well when Huntsman had to go off because of the penalty. As Flick had scored on a couple of those opportunities, but had much less room to shoot. That time she had all the room in the world right in front of Sorensen, and she's able to bounce it off the turf and in. So just 1:25 left on the clock. A costly turnover on the other end from Southern Virginia allows Wittenberg to tie it at 9. 4 consecutive goals to tie this up in the fourth quarter. They were also trailing 8-3, so they have 6 of the last 7 to their name. But the plus for Southern Virginia is they have been excellent in the draw controls today. Have won almost all of them. As Piper's still in control, and you got to think they're going to shed some clock here and wait to have that last shot of the game. This Kaya Baisden now 2 goals. Came in today leading the team in goals with 8. She now has 10 to her name, hitting double digits. Behind they go for Piper Searle. Certainly the Tigers are going to keep watch of her. She's going to try and do it herself here. Go back towards the middle. And she's going to shoot it into the pocket of Weckerly. Another quality save. As Piper Searle made contact with Pittman and went down as she took the shot. So a good effort there, but another quality save. Just 30 seconds remain. This is Pickrell. Lots of speed going back towards the middle. Now Hannah Roller. Last opportunity for Wittenberg to take the lead. Good play by Perez to pressure. But that will be whistled down. And Anna Roller will take free control. Just 5 seconds remaining now. Flick's going to lose that, and they're going to run out of time. And that'll do it for the end of regulation, as that penalty called actually disrupted the offense of Wittenberg. It did not allow them to get off that last shot that they wanted with Flick. So we will head to sudden death overtime here in Buena Vista. A real nail-biter after Wittenberg was able to come down from a 9-5 deficit in the fourth quarter, also an 8-3 deficit in that third quarter, to tie things up with just a minute and a half remaining before Weckerly made a quality stop on Piper Searle in the last 30 seconds. And again, as we take this short break in between regulation and overtime, Knights Athletic Department wants to thank our following sponsors for their continued support of Knights Athletics. Those sponsors being Mill Creek Orthodontics, Grace Automotive, The Beeve, Papa John's, Straws Drinks and Eats, Cornerstone Bank, Katana Sushi and Hibachi Express, Vinyl Cuts, and River Crossing Apartments. So another 20 seconds before we get into overtime. I believe there are 2 4-minute periods, which again can end at any time because of the golden goal rule and sudden death. So possession is of extreme importance in overtime, as both teams come out of their huddles and back onto the field. Nothing given up by Wittenberg in that fourth quarter. 0 goals to the name of Southern Virginia. Southern Virginia did have 8 shots, while Wittenberg had 7, but Wittenberg able to convert on 4 of those. And it will be a 5-minute overtime period, I stand corrected. This is Ellie Patterson. I think she's taken her first draw on the day. She'll face off with Maddie Krasno, freshman from Bexley, Ohio. Roller and Flick have been the goal scorers for Wittenberg so far. There's a win from Ellie Patterson. Tries to grab it. Gets deflected here to the near side. Also, Essence Wise getting on the board in that third quarter, I believe, or it was the fourth quarter, rather. But Southern Virginia, very important possession here in the overtime period. This is Kaya Basin going to take her time with plenty of time on the shot clock, 72 seconds now. And now Piper Searle, 6 goals in the day. Looking for Roxy LeBaron, who's back in. Suffered a bit of an injury, but good to see her there on the field. And Piper Searle's going to lose it, but then scooped back up, and Roxy LeBaron looking to grab it. Now Reagan Bullock going after it. Just 50 seconds left on the shot clock. Now it's Kai Baisden. She's got room, and she's able to cut back towards the middle, then to the outside. Then she'll retreat after good defense from Kaylin Ireland. Just 30 seconds now on the shot clock. There she has room towards the middle, just to the right of the post. Goes out of bounds, so the Knights retain possession, but just 18 seconds on the clock. Michaela Martin in control. Fake pass towards the middle. They're going to have to get something going now. It's Roxy LeBaron. Shoots it towards the goal, just to the outside of the post. But just 2 seconds on the clock, and it will expire on them. So a shot clock violation from Southern Virginia puts the ball in possession of Wittenberg now. We did see an overtime in our last lacrosse match here at Knight Stadium. That was men's lacrosse. Southern Virginia men ultimately won in double overtime on golden goal, of course, as well. Knights women trying to do the same here, but it's Wittenberg in control now. Good thing is you have Roxy LeBaron back in there for Southern Virginia. Senior defender from Alberta, Canada. This is Heeman being pursued by Bailey Bruce. And now it's Flick. Got to watch her. And upended was Perez as Roxy LeBaron goes sprawling as well. Let's look to see if there was a penalty on the play. It will be offensive on, I think, Aubrey Stager. As there was lots of contact made, and it was in the hands of Jessica Flick, the very dangerous attacker from Wittenberg. So Knights able to stave that one off to a fortunate penalty called on Stager. .28 seconds to go in the first overtime period. This is Perez going to stretch it out right across the Knights logo. And she gets it stolen from her just past midfield. And here comes Wittenberg back in the attack with Jessica Flick. And that's going to be whistled down again. 10 seconds remain. As the card's assessed, there is a stoppage in the clock. That's Bailey Bruce going off, an important defender for the Knights. Tigers have yet to attempt a shot as Flick's being guarded by 4 Knights. Now some room opens up for Anna Roller, but time is going to not be in favor of the Tigers there, and we will end the first overtime period. Knotted at 9. And with how much the Knights have dominated on the draws, it's a good thing that the clock ran out there on the Tigers. And it allows Ellie Patterson to back go towards midfield and face off against Alyssa Burnside. Just a 3-minute overtime period. Just as the first. Still looking for a winner in sudden death. Way up in the air it goes. Patterson looking for it. She's going to get control of it. So another key grab of possession by Southern Virginia, just as they did in the first overtime period. No goals scored by the Knights since that third quarter. Weckerly so far has shut the door, 2 saves in that overtime period. This is Baisden going back towards the middle, towards the goal, and she's got it! Southern Virginia finally able to put the ball in the net. And that'll do it for this one. Knights able to defeat Wittenberg 10-9 after a very courageous comeback attempt by the Tigers, being down 8-3 in the third quarter and then down 9-5 in the fourth quarter to come all the way back and tie it to force overtime and then a second overtime, as Kai Baisden was struggling quite a bit to get anything going offensively for herself after that first quarter, and able to put in her third on the day to win it for Southern Virginia. They improved to 2-1 as their early season in this non-conference schedule, and Wittenberg will fall to 3-1. So standout performances from both Jessica Flick and Piper Searle, 6 goals apiece for them, for both sides. And, of course, Gabrielle Weckerly, we talked a lot about her. And then, of course, Madison Sorensen of the Knights, really not giving each team too much at all offensively to round things out today, as both teams will line up and shake hands. This is the first of a 3-game homestand for Southern Virginia women's lacrosse. Their next matchup will be against Randolph-Macon here at Knight Stadium next Wednesday, March 13th, and will begin conference play in their quest towards their first ever conference title against Piedmont, also here in Buena Vista at Knight Stadium next Saturday. So a very valiant effort by both teams, and of course Wittenberg on that wonderful comeback attempt, but Knights women's lacrosse will march on to their next matchup with Randolph-Macon with a 2-1 mark. First year at the helm of Olivia Cope. But again, we thank you for tuning into this edition of Knights Broadcasting. Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know how you're doing and how we can improve your viewing experience. And we also thank our production team here at Southern Virginia for producing this. And we wish you all a very pleasant Saturday afternoon. Until next time, and go Knights.